Hello CLC family, I said a little while ago I'd do a tutorial on like getting a queue list to do timecode in Eos because you can do it for free and it's really useful and it helps you just like sort the end of your programming process, to be honest. So to start off with, I'm like hoping we've got queue list with queues in it. You need to install Reaper. I'll chuck a link to this on the group chat, and then another bit of software which is called Loop MIDI. Again, we'll chuck link. You're also going to want a fucking like MP3 or a wave or something of your track, so you can like rip that off YouTube or something. That's what I do. Yeah, so you're gonna open up Loop MIDI and Reaper for the first time, and they're gonna do like a bunch of like configuration bullshit at you. Sort it, and then we go into Loop MIDI, and all you need to do, I've already done it. All you need to do is just click this plus button in the bottom left once, and it'll just add one port, and it's called Loop MIDI port, right? And then you can close that, and you never need to look at it ever again. So going into Reaper, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into Reaper's preferences, and we're going to make sure that that Loop MIDI port is being picked up by it, because essentially the MIDI port is how Reaper and Eos are going to communicate the time code information. So you got, yeah, I got a second port there, but you want to find the one that's your Loop MIDI port and make sure it's enabled under audio and then MIDI output devices, okay? Because Reaper's going to be outputting the time code signal to Eos, okay? So yeah, make sure it's got an ID. It should already have an ID of 1 in there, but if not, just make sure that's set to 1 or like some shit that you can remember, okay? Then we'll close that in Reaper, okay? So we're now going to go insert fucking SMPTE LTC MTC timecode generator, okay? So what do we mean by an LTC MTC fucking timecode generator? So yeah, there are two ways we can do time. Well, there's a few ways we can do timecode. So first of all, there's the standard called SMPTE and LTC, and it basically sends timing information as like modulations on an audio signal. And that's what it defaults to in Reaper, so we can actually listen to it right now, and it's going to sound really grim. Yeah, that's like raw dog SMPTE timecode. Is it not a lang sound? But we've not got the facilities for that. It's going to take us a bit more work if we want to set up a way to get the laptop to put that into Eos to receive the timecode information. We could do it if we had like audio loopback or some shit, but that'd just be a bitch to set up, to be honest. So we're using MIDI timecode, which is the second option, and it uses the MIDI protocol and the MIDI port that we just set up to talk to Eos, communicate timecode information. So we're going to right click on this timecode generator. We're going to go source properties. We're going to go change from send audio to send MIDI, and all the frame rates and shit are fine. And we should have added that MIDI device in successfully. So we're going to go down the bottom here, click this sort of like stripy icon, right? And set the MIDI hardware output. So where is the timecode generator sending its new MIDI data to the Loop MIDI port? Okay. So now Reaper's all set up to send this timecode signal like from like whatever time we tell it here, right, into Eos. Oh fuck off, bro. So what we should go ahead and do as well is get the like audio file for our thing and drag it into Reaper and make sure it's like zeroed there, and then we can zoom out like this, and then we can extend the length of the timecode signal to like the length of the track, and then we're sorted to just like click through and we can hit that exact point of the song and send that exact timing information to Eos from Reaper all at the same time. Just be like, right, so Eos time. Fuck me, have we got some setup bits to do? We're going to start in system show control. Fucking SMPTE probably isn't deep, but sometimes Eos is just fucking weird, so turn it on even though that's not what we're using. We're using MIDI timecode, okay? So we need to make sure MIDI timecode RX is enabled, network list receive, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's deep. You can fuck around with like having a specific queue list for MIDI input. Don't want to. Traumatizing, to be honest. Augmented is not what you want. I just clicked on that by default because it's always fucking going wrong. But yeah, here we are. So we go device show control, which is different from system show control, and then we go USB MIDI and SMPTE, and we turn on local RX, local TX, and USB MIDI and SMPTE. And then we go over, and yeah, I fucked it up and I was like messing up with the ports earlier, so I've got like an extra port, but you need to make sure your Loop MIDI port RX, which is receiving from Reaper, is enabled, and it should have the source ID of either 1 or whatever you set your MIDI output to in Reaper earlier. Right, so yeah, banged it in setup. So now we're programming some Eos, right? So we've got this time code column here. If you don't see it, you'll have to right click on your PSD and like make sure it's like ticked, and obviously like change the width or shit or whatever. But yeah, you want that to be visible because it's quite nice. But it can be a little bit deceiving having the timecode column here in the queue list, because the timecode information is not actually part of the queues themselves, right? The queues can like hold a reference to the timecode information, okay? But the timecode, like times and stuff, are actually stored in a separate thing, which is kind of like a queue list, but it's called an event list, right? So we're going to click into a tab down here called show control, okay? An event list is like a queue list in that if you go like event 1/ it means like list 1, whereas like event 1/1 is like list 1, event 1. So we're going to go event 1/ to create our first event list, okay? We know these events want to be receiving type MIDI time codes. Enter, that's what we want it to be listening to there. I think that's it for now. Yeah, okay, and then we're gonna jump back into live quick. Fuck, I'm talking like Greg, bro. Oh, I did this like teaching course recently, and I just like keep going into teacher mode when I'm not even like trying to, bro. What the fuck am I talking about? Jump back into live. I'm gonna off myself. Jesus. Okay, here we are, guys. We've got to get the queues to know what their times are. So we're going to do a thing to the queue list where we go queue 1/ and then we go time code and then whatever our event list is. So event list 1, bang, and then it now says in our PSD list 1 time code 1, and then when we put times in to the time code, they'll show up in this column. Great news. So show control, we're selecting our first event list, okay? Eos can do an internal clock, okay? So we don't actually have to listen to the timing from Reaper at all, but obviously we fucking want to listen to the timing from Reaper because then we can just get the music with it, right? Like that's how we want to operate, okay? So if we hit internal, right, it'll post internal enable, right? And this thing in red will start like chilling up there. But it's not what you want to do in almost all scenarios, right? So we're going to click internal again to go internal disable, okay? But you can see it's still got a time, it's still got like the last saved time from the clock, so we can go event list time 0 and it'll just set it back to 0. Also, interesting thing that you should know if you're going to be working with like changing the time codes via the command line is that when you do time code, it's like it's like typing a clock towards the left, or it's like time like fucking like 3.565 seconds. I'd just like type in like 356. It's not like in the like the queues where you use the time 0. But yeah, we don't want the internal clock, we want the external clock. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit external over here, and we'll see we've now got a nice green clock up here in the top left. And hopefully, and I'm telling you guys this is going to work, like it's so going to work. Hit that. Yeah, there we go. And now Eos has got the clock from Reaper, which is pretty lame, right? Because it means we can just do all the cool shit, like stop playing please, thank you gang. But yeah, this means we can just basically do all like the really fun stuff like right fucking now. Go time 0 on that, okay? We're gonna go event 1/ and if you're using like a programming wheel or something, you can use the learn button here, or on a laptop it's Alt L to make it learn, okay? And it's now saying learning up there, but also you have got it as a soft key down here. You can go learn events and it'll do exactly the same thing. So now it's not learning, now it is from the learn event soft key, okay? Now it says it's learning. It's great news for us, okay? So, oh, what the fuck, man? Oh, I pressed help, bro. Function lock my nuts. Okay, so I can, yeah, I'll do the macros actually later. Yeah, I'm not hitting macros now. We're raw dogging these Eos commands. The time code is learning and the thing's on actually, so yeah, literally all I have to do now is just like go to the fucking start with the home button, but I had function lock on. It's a long day to be me, to be frank, right? And then literally, fuck, yeah. And like, I've just fucked all those cues terribly. But if I get to like the end of the section here, then I can pause, I can go in Eos and go event 1/ stop learning, right? And then I can like pause it in Reaper, although Reaper seems to have done that itself. And then we can go back into live, go queue out, can see we've got all this timing information on our queues now. And if we go into Reaper and we press play here, right, Eos is going to pick it up. But like hitting the really shit keys, obviously, because I like missed them all, okay? It's also very lovely because it means, let's say we've like done like this much of our song, right? It means if we don't actually start at the start, right? If we start like a few seconds in, right, we like chuck it here and go like, okay, I just want to work on this little section. I like keep rewinding the lighting cues, right? I can just bang it there, right? And Eos is just going to pick up the timing, right? Fucking great news for us programmers, basically. Yeah, fuck was I saying? Oh, okay, yeah, so like fun things we can do with timecode after we've programmed it. So if we've got a cue, if we like rewind that we want like this cue to be, fuck off, we want this cue to be like at 8 seconds exactly, but like we want it, we're not quite sure like how far, but we want it to be like 0.22 seconds earlier, roughly. Okay, we can go on that cue, right? We can go cue timecode, okay, minus 0.22, okay? So it's like, I don't actually know the exact time I want it, but I just want it like a little bit earlier, right? And then it's just like set that much earlier, right? We can make a macro to do this, and then it's just like a really nice programming process. I can just be like, nudge that like a teeny little bit further forward, like 0.15, and it's just like boop, and it's really helpful. You can remove timecode from a queue, just like execute timecode and then don't type anything in. Let's say you had like the end section of the song that you wanted to, wanted to redo all the final cues. You could like select your cue and go Q140 through, which will just select everything after 140. Execute. Oh, fuck off, bro. No, I just want the timecode button. They moved the soft keys. Tell my man shut up. And then yeah, it's pretty good, yeah. You can make, what the fuck is this? I don't even remember programming this, to be honest. We got the, yeah, you can arm and disarm it with macros, which is just quite nice. And it like, when you disarm it, you can get it to restart at time 0 on there, which is like irrelevant, but like quite useful because it's just a bit fair. And then like if I fucked everything and I just like hate everything I've ever done, then there's a macro there will just like clear timecode from all your cues. There was something else. There was something else I was supposed to say about like the macro situation. I can't remember. They're all eminently programmable, but I'll send you guys a short file so you can merge the macros in. Yeah, fuck. Oh, there was something really important I wanted to say. Long hat. Good night, guys.